Hi, welcome to Sibling Chat. I'm Leia.
And I'm Lavaro.
And I'm Maya.
And today we're talking about our top 3, I guess, spy films. All right, excellent. So, Lavaro, you want to start us off?
I'll start us off. My number 3, and caveat, these are our favorite spy movies. These aren't the best spy movies. These are my
Agreed.
top 3 favorite spy movies. Number 3 on my list is True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger, directed by James Cameron.
I love that movie.
It's an excellent movie.
I love that movie.
I like. I don't know if it was the first, but it was the first one that I saw that had the dynamic of a husband and a wife, and then the wife kind of not knowing that her husband is a spy. Like, it brought in the whole, and then it had the dumb action in it where there's Arnold Schwarzenegger's like on a horse.
Come on.
Riding through
But
New York City.
I like the fact that they like sort of played with the idea of like the serious action hero by having those sort of stupid, like really come on now moments in the film.
Yeah.
And it made it a little bit more lighthearted.
Yeah, it was good. It was super.
Yeah.
It was super funny. It was super action. Tom Arnold was funny.
Yeah. Eliza Dushku was talented.
Who? Which one is that?
She's
Which
a
one's
daughter.
Oh, she's
That's
a
like
daughter.
her first thing before she becomes Faith and Buffy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Don't
Sure.
worry about it.
I won't.
It's okay. We'll have a whole nother episode dedicated to Buffy and shows that Lavaro doesn't know at all.
Or
Sure.
probably Maya
An
too,
angel
'cause,
and-
you know,
All right, so we'll
All
have an episode just me and y'all.
we have like 2 episodes like that already that we're supposed to have.
It's okay. All right, so
So yeah, True Lies is with James Cameron at the height of his powers. I stole that from the guy from Screen Junkies. I'm gonna keep doing that.
all right, as long as
So I
you
can get
like,
him on the
Shout
show.
out to Screen
as long
Junkies.
as you like credit it, give those shout
Yeah.
outs, we're good.
I
Yes.
can't remember his name. Hal. Well, I don't know. Do I need to say his name? Hal Rudnick is his name.
Okay.
He says that.
Excellent.
At the height of his powers.
That's fair. That's fair because he has fallen.
Me
a
and you,
little.
Hal. Go ahead. With your number 3.
He's trying to already push me out. Anyway.
No, I'm just saying me and him like in contention
Yeah.
because I'm gonna start saying all the stuff that he says. And
No,
then he's
no,
gonna
no.
get upset
Then
and
that-
then want to come
then
to
that-
the show
Be-
and argue with me.
You know what? You do
And then
you.
me, you can take him down.
I didn't say I was going to help you
Yeah,
with
that's
this.
what it's gonna be.
Okay.
Movie
So
fights.
my number 3, at first it was North by Northwest, classic Alfred Hitchcock with Cary Grant. I love it. It's a man who actually is not a spy, but then a spy believes he is a spy, and he's pulled into this entire espionage thing, and it gives us that classic shot of the person running from the plane with the airplane coming behind them. That's from North by Northwest. If you like don't know the film, you know that visual. But then I realized that I watched Mr. and Mrs. Smith a lot because I own it on DVD. So then I switched my third to Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
So your 3 is not North by Northwest.
No, because I thought North by Northwest I love for a different reason. But like
Gotcha.
if we're saying like our top and like thinking for me that means the ones I watch the most, then it's Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And I don't need to talk about that because everybody knows about Angelina.
Well, we
And
can talk about
Brad.
it because that's actually my number 2 movie, Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Woo!
Oh, really?
Look at that.
Okay,
It
all
is.
right.
Hey.
I enjoy it, but yeah, I enjoy it. It's just fun, right?
Yeah, it was a fun movie.
And they have great chemistry. Like
Absolutely.
I cannot deny that.
I can see why he left Jenny for her.
Wow.
Because of the
Look,
chemistry in the
but-
movie. No, I'm just saying in the movie it's great chemistry, and you can see that it worked
Yeah.
at the time. I don't know what's happening now, but it worked.
Right. I don't know. I don't even think they know what they're doing. But anyway, we don't talk celebrity gossip on this show. Okay, Maya.
And wait. And
yeah.
I just want to say I really like the scene, and this is not. I liked it because it was funny because, like when they finally fight each other, like physically fight each other,
Yeah.
and then Angelina falls, and she's on the ground, and he like kicks her twice behind the couch.
I do. I love that because
just
it's so
hilarious.
not like what you're expecting.
Right,
but
right.
he's just like, nah, man, she's a spy. I need to take her down. And you're like, wait. And it's hilarious.
And it's a real fight, and I was watching. It was a behind the scenes things to where they were arguing over. They were saying that Brad gets to do such and such, and then Angela's, well, how come I don't get to slide? Like how come I don't get? And so they kept like upping the action that they both got.
Oh,
to do
it definitely shows because like, one thing I appreciate of Angelina Jolie as like an action hero is that she's like, I can do that. Like, I feel like that's what she approaches it all. Like, I could do that. Like, she doesn't do the running like Tom Cruise because that's not necessary. Right. But when it comes to the actual fighting, she's like, I can throw the punches, I can take the hits, and I love that for her being like a woman who's an action hero because you don't really get to see that a lot.
Right.
So yeah.
So what's your number 2?
So my number 2 is actually the first Mission Impossible. When
the first
of the Tom Cruise Mission Impossible series. Yeah, okay, y'all, we gotta stop at a certain point. We're reaching copyright. Yeah, okay. Sorry. Yeah, no problem. Sorry. But it's exactly. Sorry. We all know it. It's right. Basically, I feel like that encompassed the awesomeness of that first film. I feel like he was really on point. I chose that one because it's when we were first truly introduced to like Ethan Hunt. It's not necessarily my favorite out of all of them, but it is the one that like if it's on, I'm like, this is gonna be a good time while I'm watching this film. I'm gonna enjoy it. Tom Cruise is not gonna annoy me. I don't feel like he's showboating. I feel like he's just like, I'm really into this film. Versus sometimes now when I watch him, I'm like, I get it. Now you're Ethan Hunt running from a mummy. I get it. Now you're Ethan Hunt like flying a plane.
The first time you saw Tom Cruise as the action hero,
right.
Where it's not new anymore.
Yeah, now I'm like, Tom, do something new. Yeah. So I appreciate it, and it just like holds a special place for me and like in the film canon because it's when he truly was like getting into it. And also I felt when he was a more realistic like spy action hero, like there's a bit more struggling. He's not like that beefcake because now I feel like he looks very much like he's trying to be a superhero who's a spy. Yes,
I have a question. Can you define what a beefcake is?
Right.
Okay, so a beefcake. I don't mind.
That's not what I got from.
At all.
Okay, because so like
any Tom Cruise movie.
No, so current Tom Cruise he's not beefcake in the way. No, that's fair. He's not beefcake in the way that like Vin Diesel or even like my future baby daddy, like The Rock is. He's more beefcake and like for his frame, he is so bulked up that it looks like it's over the top. Versus if you watch the first Mission Impossible, he's just really fit and capable and like what I would expect of somebody who fights but at the same time has to merge into different personas. Versus now if I saw him walking down the street, I'd be like, oh, what are you, a professional athlete? Like he's very obvious. So like for his frame, because he's not a big guy, but he's like, yeah, that's what I mean. Not like your traditional beefcake. Yeah, I should clarify. That's fair.
Because he's like a really tiny guy.
Right, but he's a tiny guy, but like he's really built up for him. So it looks too much on his frame.
Got it.
But in that first Mission Impossible, he's just like, nah, I'm fit. I run a lot. I can throw some punches. And now I'm just like, dude, like, bring it down.
Well, that's kind of ranting on my number 1 movie because it's actually Mission Impossible 4, Ghost Protocol.
It's an enjoyable film.
The beefcake.
Right, but it's enjoyable.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. I don't care.
And like the cinematography is beautiful.
Yeah, that's not why I like. I like it because by the time because there's a break between 3 and 4, so they kind of got away from it from Mission Impossible, and then for Mission Impossible 4, they I guess and up in the ante on like the espionage and the gadgets and the stunts because that was when he was on the side of that tall building in Dubai.
Yeah, that's yeah.
And the story was really good, so that I feel like they up the ante, but not in the Fast and Furious way of up in the ante, where they just make more explosions and more and more cars.
Yeah, that's true.
Thandie Newton in Mission Impossible 2 is absolutely
exactly
been the best one. But I like Paula Patton. I did miss Vin Diesel not being in this one as much. Wait, was he in this one?
No, Vin Diesel's not.
I don't.
Yeah, he was like right at the end. He basically had a cameo in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right at the end of it, with the joke with Tom Cruise. But it still worked. It was still a good movie.
Yeah.
Simon Pegg was still in it, and like everything was everything.
All the people I like were in it. Yeah. I follow that definitely.
I did miss Vin Diesel. He came, not Vin Diesel, but Ving Rhames. Did I say Vin
Rhames.
Diesel?
You said Vin
Vin
Diesel,
Diesel.
and I was about to say I don't think that's who you
No,
mean.
I mean Ving Rhames. I'm sorry.
Also,
Sorry,
they
Vin.
look nothing alike. I don't even think, like, maybe the same height. That's
They're-
about
both
it.
of their names start with V.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Okay.
His name is-
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ving Rhames was I like that all the actors that I look forward to seeing were back in this one. I was not a big fan of some of the films, but yeah, I did enjoy this one. So my number one is a classic. It's a black and white. It's Alfred Hitchcock. It's a film that I remember the first time I watched it on TCM. I was like, this is magic, and this is what a thriller, spy, film noir film should be.
This is cinema.
Exactly.
That was Leia.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I went out and bought it on DVD so I could watch it all the time and remind myself of what brilliance looks
It's
like.
a hell of a build up. But go ahead.
It really is. It's Notorious by Alfred Hitchcock.
Okay. I thought you was like, yeah, I feel like
Me too.
Is that? I know. I was like, why are y'all both looking so confused? Like, look,
I don't feel
did
like that was
Vicky
a
do a
spy
spy
movie.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
Alfred Hitchcock didn't do that. What are you talking about?
No, y'all, Notorious by Cary Grant and Ingrid Bergman.
Okay.
It's a great like romance, thriller, spy, espionage film
I have
noir thing.
not seen it. I'm at the check.
It
out.
is.
Neither
It's
have
so good because like it's shot really well. The storytelling is really tight. It's not one of those spy films where I feel like, oh, they just don't show you what's happening and then they can go back and be like, surprise, like the way they did with Oceans. I think it was 12 or 13, where like they don't show you what actually happens, the series of events, and so you can like see the holes in it. Instead, they come back and like, actually, we magically did this. Like it's one of those films where it plays out in front of you, so you're stuck being like,
Oh, got you.
you know,
I see.
yeah.
They did that in Ocean's 12.
yeah, okay. I thought it was 12. Yeah, like it plays out in front of you, so you're like, oh, how did this happen? Oh, wait, that's when they did it. Oh, well, did it? Oh,
They do that in every Ocean's movie a little bit.
in Ocean's 11, it made a little bit more sense, but Ocean's 11 was also like a reboot of an old one, so I feel like there were less holes because they knew what they were basing off of it to some extent. But yeah, they don't do that, and so I just love Notorious for what it is. And you will, even though I know how this film ends, I am always on the edge of my seat, and like I already know what happens. I already
That's
know
good.
who
That's
the
good
good
that
people
a
are. I
movie
know
can
who's
put you
gonna
in that
die,
space.
and it still happens to me. I'm still wrapped up in it.
I still, first of all,
You still trying to? Every time I say Notorious, thinking Big.
and it doesn't make it
I
better.
can see you out of the corner of my eye, being like,
But it,
Because you're like the end of it. Like,
right, like you know how it ends, but you're still on the edge of
I
your
know.
seat. And then it doesn't make it better that when you type in Notorious on IMDb, the Biggie version is the one that pops up.
That's on my list now. Notorious.
I
'Cause
have
you like
that.
really bigged it up.
You did. You gave it a
I
hell
have
of a
the
build-up.
DVD.
You really bigged it up.
Ha! Ha!
I do have an honorable mention. I have a couple honorable mentions.
Ooh,
okay, I
go
do as
for it.
well.
I'm not gonna go all the way into it, but I really like Central Intelligence with The Rock and Kevin Hart. I thought that was really
Oh,
fun.
I love that film.
Oh, I
Definitely
never
worth
saw
it.
that.
You should see it. It's
Is it really good? I heard
It
was good.
is, and it's really nice to see The Rock actually acting.
Yeah, because he's not playing a rock.
Okay.
He's
He
playing.
actually
good.
acts, but it's so like charming and messed up, and I really enjoy that film.
Interesting.
Kevin is
Yeah.
being himself.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's also why it works better with The Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think The Rock is getting his own spin-off based off of his character in The Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what it
how-
is.
He
That's
is
what I'm
supposed to
thinking
be.
of. Yeah. Sorry,
Are Fast and
tangent.
Furious movies spy movies?
I was trying to think that, but
No.
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 they're not spies. They're
Would they be like
grand
crime?
theft? Are they crime?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's more of a heist movie.
We could
Yeah.
heist films.
Yeah.
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 We could maybe put them in like action thriller if we're really trying to
I
stretch
wouldn't say
that.
thriller. That's a
I'd
Or
say
suspense?
action.
I would say action.
Yeah.
action heist movies.
But I'm gonna
Yeah.
put them in heist, like
Yeah.
definitely
I
heist.
didn't even know that was a category.
Um,
Gosh, you guys are schooling me. Anyway.
But my other honorable mention is I Spy with Eddie Murphy and Owen Wilson.
I never saw that.
Oh.
It's I'm a big Eddie Murphy fan.
That's fair.
Yes.
I'm a medium Owen Wilson fan, and when you put those guys together,
That's great.
Like medium
it's
rare.
magic.
Like
it's magic.
Yeah.
But it's a spy movie, and it's kind of making fun of itself. It's making fun of like spy things, and it's funny.
Okay. Yeah, I have
Cool.
2 honorable mentions. One I already said, North by Northwest, and then the other one is Spy with Melissa McCarthy, because I just Jason Statham, because I really just appreciate how it turns the genre like on its head, and plays with some of the
she's
tropes.
hilarious, yeah.
And she's hilarious.
Yeah.
She's great in that film. I actually really enjoyed she and Jason Statham together because they're both hilarious.
Yeah,
which,
they are.
Nice.
yeah.
And normally I don't like Jason Statham. I don't, because he has unexplained superpowers in all his movies.
Because he's Jason Statham, so he's a
Right,
superhuman.
unexplained superpowers in all
No,
his
he's
movies.
a superhuman. I don't
At least when The
understand.
Rock has unexplained superpowers, you can say, oh, he's huge. Yeah, he might have.
No, but
super
Jason
strength.
Statham is like trained, so there's a difference. The Rock has like the size. Jason Statham has the skill.
So Maya, what are your top?
I
got?
realized that I don't really watch spy movies.
Okay.
But I do like Undercover Brother, which is kind of like a spy parody.
Yeah.
It
I
is.
guess. Yeah. I used to watch
Definitely.
Dave
that all
Chappelle's
the-
in that movie. That's
Yes,
when
he
Dave Chappelle's
is.
doing movies.
Yes. Oh.
Right?
Mhm.
Right? That was
And
back
where's
in the
Eddie
day.
Griffin?
But I don't know. We gotta
Like,
find him.
where is he? Oh my god. And then the first and the third Spy Kids.
Those are cute.
Oh, those are nice. I like Spy Kids.
Yeah, they're cute. I support that. I think you need more family spy films.
Yeah.
Although I don't know if I want children learning
Wait.
about like.
Oh my. Well, we did Disney already, but I'm gonna throw in The Incredibles. as
The
another
Incredibles
one.
They're
is
not
a spy. I was
spies.
thinking
Yes,
that
it
too.
is.
No,
It's not a
they're
spy
not.
film.
They're,
It is.
It's a
They're
superhero
superheroes.
film, or it's
They're
an action
superhero
film.
spies.
No, they're
They're
not
not.
spies.
They're not. I'm
They're
sorry.
not. You can't put The Incredibles on every list, Maya.
Yes, I can.
No.
I can and I will.
No, you can't. So that concludes our.
Also, The Little Mermaid. I just love.
Ursula,
she-
you know.
She really got it. How they sent Ariel to infiltrate Eric
Definitely.
and everything.
Definitely.
All right, so that's our list of our favorite spy movies. I hope you enjoy them. Go out and watch them. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
And
Don't
tell-
forget to subscribe and thumbs up this, and also put what spy films that you enjoy below in the comments.
All right. Thanks for the chat.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.